Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, peoples, humans, persons. Welcome back to Word of the Week. I'm Sarah Williams, reporting not live from Washington and not DC. This week's Word of the Week is omnipotent.
Omnipotent?
Omnipotent.
Omnipotent?
Omnipotent.
Omnipotent?
Yes, omnipotent. All powerful. Okay, you know what? There's no way to explain how powerful God is. He's just so powerful, you can't even explain it. You know what? Let's just let Jesus speak for himself here. I've got a few examples that I pulled out of the Bible, the best book in the universe, by the way. Our first example you can find in the book of John, chapter 2, verses 1 through 11. Here, Jesus was at a wedding. And back in those days, weddings were multiple days long. And at these weddings, they would serve wine. Well, at this wedding, they ran out of wine. So guess what Jesus did? He turned some water into wine. Wow. He literally turned something into something else. That's impossible. He just made something appear basically out of nothing. Talk about all powerful. That's impossible. Okay, our next example you can find in John chapter 11, verses 38 through 44. And here, Jesus raises someone from the dead.
Oh, Lord, I wish you would have been here, then my brother would not have died. Oh, Martha, I'm so sad too. But listen, didn't I tell you that if you believed, you would see God's glory? Look, everything's gonna be okay. I got this. Yo, Lazarus, wake up! What? I'm alive? Oh, come on. I was enjoying heaven.
Okay, now that is seriously omnipotent. Jesus must have had so much power because, how can you raise someone from the dead? That's the definition of impossible. And yet Jesus did it because he's omnipotent. He is so powerful. He can raise people from the dead. He can make food appear. He can turn stuff into other stuff. There's so much God can do. He can do literally anything because he's omnipotent. There's a verse I want to share with you guys. And it's found in Ephesians chapter 1, verses 19 through 20. I read this last night, actually, when I was reading my Bible and spending time with Jesus. Best part of the day. And I thought this verse was so cool. And I was reading Ephesians chapter 1 because it went along with a sermon that I watched on Sunday, which I really liked, and I want to briefly share it with you guys because it literally blew my mind. Okay, so let me just read the verse first. It's Ephesians chapter 1, verses 19 through 20, and it says, "And what is the exceeding greatness of his power toward us who believe, according to the working of his mighty power, which he worked in Christ when he raised him from the dead and seated him at his right hand in the heavenly places." Wow. God is so omnipotent, he's so powerful, that he raised Jesus from the dead and then seated him at his right hand. Wow. So just here we've gotten two examples of God raising someone from the dead. First it was Lazarus, and then it was Jesus. So this sermon that I watched the other day, the pastor was talking about how as sons and daughters of Jesus, as being adopted into God's family, we are in Christ. And if, like this verse is saying, if Christ is seated at the right hand of God, and if we are in Christ, that means we're seated at the right hand of God too. That seriously blew my mind. I'm sitting at the right hand of God right now. How? Why? my mind was seriously blown. Me, I'm sitting at the right hand of God. You're sitting at the right hand of God. Like, how is this possible? Well, another thing this pastor was talking about is that, did you know that there was a time when there was no time? Think about it. Genesis 1:1. In the beginning. Well, what was before the beginning? Well, there must not have been any time before the beginning. God is so omnipotent, so powerful, that he created time. And he's outside of time. If he created time, time doesn't control him, which means he's in the past, the present, and the future all at the same time. Right now, we're in the present. We are here on this earth, but God is in the future. So if right now we're sitting here on earth, but in the future when we die, we're going to get to be in heaven. And to God, he's already in the future, and he's in the past, and he's here all at the same time. So if God's already in the future, that means he's already seeing us sitting at his right hand. To him, we're already sitting at his right hand. We're already in heaven with him. Isn't that amazing? We get to sit at the right hand of God. That completely blew my mind. I thought that was amazing. And I just really wanted to share that with you guys because I think that just goes to show how powerful our God is. He is so omnipotent. It's amazing. Anyway, I wanted to do just a quick little recap of what we've learned this month. So this month's topic was God, and we learned about 3 things about God. The first one is that he's omnipresent. He's everywhere at once. The second one was that he's omniscient. He's all-knowing. And today, we learned about the third word, which is omnipotent, which means that God is all-powerful. So now you guys know 3 new words: omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I hope that you maybe learned something the last few weeks about God that you maybe didn't know before. And I will see you soon. Bye for now.